Oh, welcome to everyone, brothers and sisters of the viewers. Thank you so much for joining us and giving all your comments on the recorded version as well as during live. So let's have say hi, Shalini. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Viji, very much, very fine.
Fantastic. So, how are you feeling in terms of coming online? This is the third day for you. So, how is your feeling towards coming in front of the camera?
Yes, I'm feeling excited. I'm growing each day, and I'm feeling more and more confident. And I love sharing my views about my favorite topic. It's always been my favorite topic. You just give me a second, I'm just coming.
Sure, absolutely. Hi, viewers. While Shalini is coming, this is a series about, as the topic says, it is empower self. What does that mean? Are we not empowered? I mean, we are in a freedom country, but truly, are we freedom from our own mind? When we say empower self, that means are you congruent or are you authentic to yourself, what you truly want to do? The moment when we say that, Shalini could share more views being the PhD on the psychology subject. When the moment we say someone that, are you truly free to do anything you like to, immediately they come back with that 2% of that conflicting situation saying, are you telling that I can do whatever I want, Vijay? Come on, cool down. And we are here talking about whatever is in your control without disturbing anybody's boundaries. Are you empowered yourself to do what you truly love to do? So that is the series we are going to talk, and we are going to talk with different topics. Before I jump on Shanley, what do you think when I said empower self? What was that went into your mind being a psychologist?
So, Viji, empowering self is it's all about you and only you. It's all inside your mind. It's all your perspective, like how you see the world around and what you store in your mind. So, people think that because of this and that and circumstances around, I'm feeling low, and so whatever is happening in my life, everybody else is responsible other than me. So it's not like that. So your beliefs are formed from your childhood while your growing years, from your parents' conditioning and societal norms, and they are somewhere in the back of your mind. They get feeded. Like I would take the simple analogy of a computer. Like whatever you feed in the computer, whatever program you give, it gets processed according to that. So over a period of time, they might go into the junk folder, like whatever you don't know, whatever you have been feeding, and it gets stored in the junk folder of the computer. So what happens is like it gets virus and it's blocked, its working gets blocked and it becomes slow. So is the case with human mind. So during our childhood days, like whatever information goes in the mind by parents and societal norms and so whatsoever, so it's somewhere there in the subconscious mind and unconscious mind, we can say. So 95% role in human structure is that of unconscious, and only 5% is played by conscious mind. So it gets stored by a child, whatever parents restricts and whatever society imposes on a child. So it's just a blank slate. Child comes with a blank slate in the world, and it gets affected. It gets stored and stored and stored, and child forgets in the process of growing up, but it's processing, it's taking its own time. It's the data which has been fed in the childhood, it's getting processed, and that forms the behavior over a period of time. So unknowingly or knowingly, he is catching the patterns from his environmental factors only. So like it's gone in the junk folder, spam folder, we can say. So he is behaving and his pattern is developed from this only. So now that we are aware, now because of this psychological, we have got enough tools and techniques. There are so many modalities now. And after Corona time, Corona has been a kind of blessing to us. Like we have become aware of so many tools and techniques at our hand, at our disposal, that we can correct it. Like there is a very one famous technique, NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Like now we can program our neurons. The brain simply functions like a computer. Like whatever you feed in it, it gets processed. So knowingly, now you can deliberately feed whatever you want to get whatever you want to get out of your life. So being aware is the foremost thing in one's life. By becoming aware, now that you are aware, by following these techniques, you can feed whatever you want to have in your life. You can feed that information, that positivity in your mind by neuro-linguistic programming that we often do in our programs, in our morning program. So earlier, the awareness was not there. People were yes,
please go ahead.
people were deprived of this. But even like I would say in my case, now I'm very much surprised to, like I was I was deprived of all this knowledge. So if I would have known it earlier, my life would have taken a different turn. But still, I'm learning and I'm applying the techniques and I'm seeing the result in my life. And I'm programming consciously day by day, though it's quite difficult in the initial days, but slowly, like you are sowing the seed, then you are watering the plant, then it will bloom. It will take its own time, it will take its own pace, but it will bloom. So that is the case.
Amazing. If I may summarize few of the points what you said, Shalini, for our viewers, is that first thing, when we talk about empower self, it is the most I would say empowered step anyone could take it in their own life or their own interest, so that you would see the beauty of what is a gift of life they have in their own hand. It just doesn't matter which part of the life you are. People can run in their voice saying, yeah, you can say you are sitting in front of your computer and you know this, that. Trust me, all those people who have a doubt in their voice, empowering self is the most important, the easiest, but a difficult one to practice. What does that mean? Vijay, what are you confusing, right? And let me once again introduce Shalini and myself. Shalini, happy to have Shalini, who is a PhD scholar on the psychology subject and also an active practitioner of various, I would say, human self-development techniques in the profound world. And myself, Vijayalakshmi Ramachandran. I'm NLP master practitioner and Valley facilitator of Dr. D. Martini, as well as international graphotherapist. Why am I saying all of this? We are not here to say who we are. It just doesn't make any sense to anyone who is listening, right? What should it matter? Like, why do you want to know about Gandhi? Why? Because Gandhi created something which is a learning for all of us. So always human look for listening to something with a very clear intention that what is in it for me. So all those viewers who are listening to this, brothers and sisters, we wanted to have this conversation with you because we found our life from somewhere to a very empowered state. Does that mean we will not get angry? Does that mean we will not get upset? Absolutely no. We are not going to give you any such false statement. I get upset, I get emotional state, and so is Charlie. We both talk, and so many other my clients also. But the key thing is we come to know very quickly the time difference between what we get triggered versus what we are reacting, converting that into response is the empowered state. That's what we are talking. So what is called empowered state? Empowered state is something where you know where you are going, you know why you are going where you are going, and you also know how to go there. And in this process, we fairly will forecast what are the things that will come along our way, and are we equipped with the resources, or do we know how to connect if we need such resources. These are very simple basic questions. Many times we don't ask these questions, or we ask and we don't wanted to know the answer because practicing this every day is very difficult. Why? Why is the answer for why. What does that mean? We all dream, we all, if I say the word of my mentor, Dr. Di Martini, we all infatuate. with beautiful results. We all be ourselves shame of something or shy away from something. Why? We as the human being are attuned with pleasure and pain. We all the time wanted pleasure and we wanted to move away from pain. That is the fundamental understanding if you wanted to start the journey of empower self. Now let's go back to the topic. Empower self. Let's assume that you know where you wanted to go and you know why you wanted to go. Now the second step is how to go, which are the techniques. To do that, first, we need to reflect upon who we are. To know where we wanted to know who we are is very important. In that who we are, like the way Shalini said, the important aspect is our childhood. Why? Childhood is the state where we are so innocent, we are so observing of everything in a natural state. Our brain is not conditioned, it is in the form of the close to authentic self, depending on how much you are going through the weather, the situation. Otherwise, you are so innocent, what we call in a normal English, right? That are the times where you keep observing. And Shalini, shall I tell you one thing? I mean, starting with you and many of the clients we are now I'm working and I discuss with you also, is that most of the times we could decode things of their very critical behavior. What triggers them, the most important ones, have the deep root in their childhood. Do you like to comment upon it with your own personal example, Shalini, if that is okay with you?
Yes, Sriji. Yes, it's very much okay. So everything, like I have observed that everything comes from your childhood only. So you talked about pain and pleasure thing. So I was also about to talk about pain and pleasure. So each and every behavior is governed by the pain and pleasure thing. Like in the periods of intense emotions, either you are driven by the pain thing or pleasure thing. So if you don't catch the pattern, if you don't become aware of it, then it becomes a behavior and it becomes a pattern over a period of time. Like so it may result in some productive or destructive things depending upon the person to person. Like if a person gets too much pain, then to avoid the pain and momentary pleasure, he switch over to some drugs and some bad habits, like he will take cigarettes and all that. While in some cases, to avoid the pain and to get momentary pleasure, they get into creativity, write poems, and some pursue their habits of singing or dancing and whatever. So everybody differs from person to person. Like in my case, I would say that pain gave me pain. Like I explored my creativity out of pain. So the passion of writing came from my childhood pain also. So it was a medium to express myself. Like I was not able to express much. So it was a medium to write on the paper was my way of expressing myself. Because my voice, I was like in childhood, people say that don't talk like that, don't talk like this. You are not allowed to raise your voice for the things you don't like sometimes. So your elders say that you are not supposed to speak like that in front of this. So when you are very your ego is high. So you don't like being mistreated by your elders. And then you go into your shell and you are not supposed to go out and take such. So I used to write. I remember I used to enclose myself in my room and I used to pour my feelings out on the paper. So I'm very good at expressing. So in my case, my creativity come out, but it does not happen with everyone. So one need to catch before it becomes a pattern. You need to catch it and change. So that's what we do in our NLP techniques. Like we program our neuron and we catch the pattern. So by becoming aware, unless you are aware, so how would you know that it's your pattern, your behavior? So by becoming aware, so I'm becoming more and more aware these days. So by becoming aware, you come to catch your pattern and you can change your life altogether. You can move it to the different direction. So it's all about neurons. It's all about neurons. So
Absolutely. You made a wonderful point about neurons, right? I just wanted to give this easy example. Then we can go into our exercise time and how to empower ourselves with small, small techniques, right? Using the neuro-linguistic program, what we call NLP in short. Uh, I would like all our brothers and sisters who are listening to this to imagine what Shalini said, like a Google map. If you know the Google map, if you put X to Y destination, it tells it shows you, different paths. Generally, it is more than one path, and some would be red, some would be green, some would be different other colors. What does that mean? In our life also, if you look at it, certain situations when we think of it, it triggers boom, your face gets, whitish or get angry without even knowing. This current context may not have anything, but you get triggered immediately. It is like that Google roadmap of red. In some place you smile, you enjoy the state, and you are very happy. That's like the green, like everything is green signal, right? So our idea in this process is, A, understand what are those triggers which is making us to go either the red path or the green path. The moment you identify that, then you could use the NLP technique to change it to go to green path. However, knowing why the red route is also equally important. That is why in this series, to start with, we are going to talk about how to identify your patterns which are triggered from your childhood. Again, we would, emphasis on childhood because that is the most important stage where most of our behaviors are there. And there are people, Shali, I was so surprised. It's as recent as yesterday, I was working with one of the persons, like the person was wanting to do something, and came out, no, it is nothing to do with my childhood is everything is great, etc., etc. So I said, wow, great. And in our profession, the quality of the question determines the quality of the answer. So I was like saying, wow, very nice, etc., etc. Then we know how to put the right question and bring the mind to the right state of unconsciously becoming the receptive mode, and landed up in telling deeply impacted childhood experience made that person to trigger, because the person is very a good scholar and had a very good experience. What happens is that we may think it is good sign. However, I just wanted to give this good, it's a news, whether it is a good news or not so good news is a viewer's discretion. It is becomes so complex because our conscious mind manipulate it and put it in a sweet, nice way. But unconscious knows truly how that is connected, and how it is deeply rooted back to where it has started. Now, why are we talking so much deeper? Because 2% of our act is from conscious, and I would say, I will not put the percentage, let's get the percentage right, otherwise I don't want to be wrong in this. Most of our actions are by subconscious or unconscious act, and only few of them are conscious act. In that case, identifying and first being aware of it is very important. And in this series, we are going to keep introducing different techniques, and one step at a day, one practice at a day would help all our brothers and sisters who are viewing this could use it. And guess what? Shalini is one of the examples. I myself is one of the example. Every single day, every minute we practice. There is nothing called preach here. Whatever we have experienced, we are enjoying the state where we are today with this smile. And I actually forgot when was in the recent past when I deeply got upset and wounded, because not that I don't get upset, I get, and then I could understand the pattern, trigger it, and then clear it and come out. So with that, I think tomorrow we will discuss more about how to understand the child behavior. To summarize today, what did we learn or what did we discuss? We discussed about what is called empower self. It is not a cliche. It is a very important key thing for you to live in a very happy state or in a self-realization state, so that you could live your powerful life, not living at the mercy of societal pressure. Do what you like the most and be the best in whatever you like the most, because you are the best when you do what you like the most. So that is the first important message. To do that, knowing about you is very important. Most of the knowing about you starts with your childhood, which by now is being put under the deep carpet, I would say. So unearthing that and understanding is the first step towards empowering self. I think with that, we will go into the practice for the day. What do you say, Shalini?
Yes, yes, definitely. It's a very wonderful
Awesome.
practice. Everyone.
Yeah. So, viewers, we were talking about empower self. In that, the first practice we started doing is raising up in the morning. There are lots and lots of theories and books and clubs all over the world. Raising in the morning is the most powerful state. Why? When you get up in the morning and do certain very specialized practice like breathing, cleansing, activating your vital points, or doing chakra healing or meditation, writing gratitude journal or affirmation, which is what we do along with graphotherapy and few NLP practice in our 5 a.m. club. You see, you are starting your day. Why? Your state, your brain or your mind state is so powerful in the morning. Take the best out of it as soon as you get up. Now, here is a challenge. Many people said, I am not good with that. I don't do it consistently. So we are practicing with few steps, which are very simple steps, but difficult to do consistently. Why? Doing anything simple consistently, our conscious brain doesn't allow us to do. So we are also going to give some tips so that you can still do it. Are you all ready? If you are finding it difficult, just give the alarm and join our 5 a.m. club. It's not for marketing, it is truly enjoy your powerful life. Okay, let's start the practice. What did we do? I'm going to recap all the practice so far, whatever we discussed. This is about getting up in the morning before 5 a.m. to do any activity at exactly 5 all the way to 1 hour, and then from 6 you can run your materialistic life. Let's start. First, before you go to the bed in the previous night, keep the alarm, be it your mobile or your alarm clock, and take that away from your bed 5 feet minimum, so that you could take that 5 steps, okay? So that you will not anytime go back to the bed. Once you keep it, along with that, you keep 2 tennis balls, okay? I just keeping the morning, I was playing with one of my clients, a 2 tennis ball. Then go to bed, enjoy your sleep, all your dreams, everything. Once the alarm rings in the morning, get up. Don't think twice, just get up like this. Go and snooze the alarm, take the tennis ball and do like this. Keep doing it, okay? The morning physical movement, especially activating left brain and right brain, will make you awake. There are a lot of underlying principle from each and every technique I'm telling you, viewers, brothers and sisters, please follow, enjoy the empowerment. Okay, now coming back. So keep doing it and bring yourself, imagine yourself as one of the role models you always wanted to become. It could be a movie actor, it could be one of the celebrity in sports or political world or artist world, whatever it is, okay? Imagine how that person has moved from I cannot to I can. Keep imagining like that person. Do the same physiology, meaning the voice, the style, the way the person makes the expression, mood. Like I remember in one of the movies, Shalini, I don't know whether you remember this. I think it was in all movies. It's called Rajinikanth movie Baksha. So whenever you think of it, right, Baksha, but the way the music and everything comes, even now I get the goosebump. It's like so awesome, right? You get fully charged.
Their physiology gets changed at the yes. So it gives you a
Exactly.
different feeling. By changing your physiology, your confidence just boosts.
Absolutely, you are bang on. So keep doing it till the alarm again rings. Now this time switch it off. We stopped till then. Yesterday we introduced one more step. Immediately one voice says, yeah, today you woke up, everything is fine. Tomorrow you are not going to do. Now, the moment that kind of critic voice, what I call is I don't call it as negative voice. Every voice has a purpose and intention in it. That's a different topic for a different day. So once that voice comes, what do? You have been hearing that voice all along and it puts you down. Here is the important, simple technique, but a powerful technique. Hear that voice, distort that voice into a funny character. It could be your cartoon character, or it could be any of your movie or comedy character. Distort it. And Shalini did an example yesterday. And Shalini, how many times did you practice that?
That's what I've been doing since yesterday, and I found an enormous change in myself. Yes,
I could see it. I could see the way you are smiling. Yeah. So distort that voice. Okay. Now, today, what is the learning? So far, it's a recap of so far whatever we did. Those of you who did that, please post it to us so that I know if it is working for you. If any challenge, do let me know so that I could fine tune it and post it back to you. Now comes today's lesson. All that you did. Some people would say, Vijay, I don't hear it. In our NLP language, we call as each and every human is dominated by either auditory skills, visual skill, or kinesthetic skill. What does that mean? I get to feel my past through hearing. Like I hear voices if I think of the past. Some people think of the past, they get images. Some people think of the past or some events, they get sensation on their body. So for those who are not hearing type, but more as a visual type, like pictures comes when you think of it, like your picture is coming and telling you, I know today you did, but tomorrow you are not going to be there. Then what we would do is a very simple technique. What you do is that you imagine that picture, make that picture completely a funny picture. Make that picture completely a funny picture. Sorry, give me a minute, please. Yeah, make that picture completely a funny one and imagine like you are again the same comedy character or that cartoon character is talking or making that faces. Do it and surely do this also in case you are getting both voice and the image, do it together. That's the technique which we were learned today. So those of you who have done it, I'm recapping quickly. Keep the alarm away from your bed. Keep two tennis balls. And then once the alarm comes in the morning, go snooze it, play the balls. And along with that, anchor yourself with your role model. And imagine how that role model has moved, transformed from cannot to can. Meanwhile, if after completing it, you could go off. If there is any critic voice comes in, you change that critic voice from the current tonality to a cartoon tonality or a comedy tonality so that it loses its power. Similarly, today what we learned in top of it is that if there is an image also attached with that critic voice or just the image comes, change that image into like a clown or like a, Donald Duck or a Mickey Mouse, something which is very funny, and let that image speaks to you. That loses its power so that you gain control of I can do every single day and I can get up every single day. I think with that, Shalini, thank you so much. Time to say goodbye to our audience.
Yes. Thank you, Viji. Thanks a lot for sharing your insights and all the techniques. So it's lovely talking to you. So I would
Same
like
here,
to say thank you.
Shalini. Same here. And I'm going to look forward for hearing from more about your rich knowledge about psychology. And whenever I'm talking in terms of this character, why backing up with your psychology knowledge is going to be much insightful for all our brothers and sisters who are viewing this series. Okay, then. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.